comes to rain, and since the soil is primarily saturated at this stage of the game, the flash flooding on the small streams and creeks and on roadways will be a concern. Storm sewers that are jammed up with debris will flood roads very, very quickly, so that's something to keep an eye on. It's producing intense, dangerous lightning. This is a lightning situation not to be fooled with at all as the storms continue to slide closer and closer to the St. Louis area. Anywhere from pea-size hail all the way up to half-dollar size hail, golf ball size hail. And obviously, once we get up into that golf ball size, and there is the possibility of these tornadoes.
45?
Yep, somewhere between 40 and 45 here.
Okay, and that would put it in Washington pretty much now. Lake St. Louis in about 5 minutes. That's on that northern edge. Gray Summit in about 15 minutes. Harvester in 21 minutes. St. Charles City in about 25 minutes. Let's clear that, and let's take a cone track from this section right here where there's another tornado warning, and that's about to come into Union and St. Clair, Missouri. Push that east as well. And that's going to get into some of the cities like Union, just a few minutes, St. Clair in about 8 minutes. And again, some of these cities, we're not talking about just the straight line damaging winds, but out of that little cell, a tornado may develop. Unlike the one to the north, this one has not been sighted. We don't have any reports of damage. Radar is showing a strong indication. Still, the best thing to do is get inside, get away from windows, and head down to the Bay. Union, 6 minutes and 8 minutes. Villa Ridge in about 16 minutes.
That one in Franklin County, that tornado warning is still in effect until 8 p.m. We continue to get more. It continues to ping there. And this one, Union, St. Clair, that little appendage is headed straight for St. Clair. It can flip back over to Max 1. I've got the cone up. And St. Clair, you are in the direct path. And even though that little appendage doesn't look that defined, it's still very much there, so we're going to have to follow that.
And these warnings, the severe thunderstorm warnings, probably need their place on the map as well. So let's just sort of toggle on those and define what we're looking at here. In the yellow, these are severe thunderstorm warnings. You have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Calhoun, Jersey, Madison, Franklin, Jefferson County, Eastern Lincoln County, St. Charles, St. Louis County, and Southeast Warren County. All of those are part of the same warning, and that warning is in effect until 8:15. So that is the severe thunderstorm warning, part of the same line, which is producing the tornado warning that you're looking at up in Lincoln County, which is still in effect for about 7 more minutes. That's a tornado warning in effect for central and eastern Lincoln County, but let's just be realistic about this. There's a very good possibility that that storm slides across into Calhoun County, so I would assume that you guys could very well be next. Then there is the tornado warning that remains in effect until 8 p.m. So now that we've defined
St. Clair, I'm going to switch over to the Doppler winds, get me a better look inside the winds inside the storm, and anywhere from Union to St. Clair, you're getting some rotation that could put down a tornado. In fact, it really is headed right for St. Clair. Let's see here. Put it about 45. You're talking about 5 minutes now. So if you're in St. Clair, all along 44, we're in central Franklin County, seeing a little bit of an intensification on this. If you're in Union, there's another little twist or rotation here. That's hitting you just in a matter of a minute or two. We've been mentioning your town, so my hope is that you're in the basement already, but if you turned up the TV so you can continue to hear me, if you're outside on a computer in the basement, watch us live streaming. Watch us stay down there in the basement.
Rotation area, and that would include Union, St. Clair, Villa Ridge, eventually pushing towards Gray Summit, Pacific Parkway, Lone Dell, Piney Park, Robertsville, and Catawissa, including the Robertsville State Park. That is the part of this storm, the southern flank of that storm in Franklin County, that appears to have the greatest possibility of some rotation that is going on here. As I scope up a little further to the north, not so much, but this is obviously a concern, and that is getting very close to I-44. And again, this is in Franklin County and right along Highway 50. in Franklin County. So basically in this wedge of Highway 50 and I-44 that is taking place. So again, the tornado warning for Franklin.
I've heard of that place.
Yeah, but we never call it that. We call it something else. Okay, Lisa, you got some more information.
We call it the home of our World Series champion Cardinals.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Lisa, what do you have for us?
Okay, Cindy and Mike, thank you so much. Farrah Fazal is en route right now to Montgomery County, and she joins us on the phone right now. Farrah, we're looking at a sky cam of our airport. What does the situation look like as you are heading west?
On the highway. Cindy, actually, we've seen a little bit of lightning, and we see some very dark clouds. We are just off of Bryan Road off the interstate, and we are headed to New Florence. We understand that there was some straight line wind, perhaps some wind damage in that area. At this moment, we don't see a lot of rain, but I'm sure, as you reported just a few minutes ago, that that's probably headed this way, yes?
Yeah, it is. It's coming your direction, Farrah. So you're going to get into that heavy rain shortly, and it will be a deluge, too. A lot of lightning. We haven't really been showing the lightning. I'm going to pop that on here as well. Unbelievable amount of lightning with this line of storms. Lisa?
Okay, we have some reports of some minor damage in Lincoln County. Tree lines are down near the Quiver River. We also had reports of hail lines and tree limbs down in the Bellflower area in Montgomery County. We spoke earlier today to the emergency management director. 2,200 homes right now reported without power.
Wind. So when you take that picture, you would be standing, they're in O'Fallon right here. So you'd be standing right about here. This is coming your way. And so clouds sometimes are just a great indication of what is coming your way. And when you see that, you know, first of all, the winds are about to pick up. And you'll notice the winds gusting a little out ahead of it because this is rain that's hitting the ground, and the air from that rain hitting the ground kind of rushes out. So you feel that gust, and then all of a sudden a downpour. That's what that cloud is telling me, and it's just further indicating that up and down this line, we're going to be dealing with that threat for strong, damaging straight line winds. One of the other things we need to talk about, too, is when these storms hit, the rain is going to be torrential. I mean, just absolute downpours. So when this rain hits and then shortly after, be very careful if you have to go out driving. We are in a flash flood watch. If we get any flash flood warnings, we'll let you know about it. Farther south down that line in Sullivan, Missouri, Matt, we have our News 4 Matt Cesney, and a little farther south, actually, and he is down in Sullivan, Missouri right now. He was down around Raleigh. He's kind of coming back up. Ooh, look at the Mamatis there. So he's seeing Mamatis clouds. Those are not indicating any severe weather per se, but they're definitely pretty cool clouds, little pockets that kind of form in the clouds. They're definitely eerie looking for sure, but they themselves are not producing severe weather. He's down in Sullivan. And Matt, are you headed back up 44 towards St. Louis?
Yeah, yes, I am, Steve. we're heading northeast, I guess, on 44 right now. We had just passed through Sullivan. We're probably another 15, 20 minutes outside of St. Clair, but we are moving northeast on 44, just beginning to get the start of some precipitation, some very light drizzle and rain falling.
I want to let you know, Matt, that on the sun, and I know you have radar in your car too that you're watching, on the cell that you're driving towards that is near St. Clair, Missouri, right along 44. On that, it's going to cross Highway 47 and Interstate 44 near St.
The strongest portion of the storm, responsible for the tornado warning that is in effect for about 15 more seconds in Lincoln County, but we may see the National Weather Service push this tornado warning across the river into Calhoun County and maybe even into Jersey and Greene. But look how impressive this is. Now, these are storms that are higher than those that we had yesterday, and then thrown into that is the fact that we have a lot better upper level shear than we had yesterday. Today we have southerly winds that are very strong, but today we have winds aloft that are more out of the west. So updrafts everywhere you see these towers are trying to, or rather wind shear, change in wind direction from this direction to a westerly direction is causing every one of these updrafts in these towers to want to rotate. And that is the reason for the tornado watch. It's also the reason that you see that little notch right there by St. Clair. That is an indication that this updraft is trying to rotate a tornado toward the surface. We still have a tornado warning in effect for Franklin County for another 15 minutes or so, Cindy.
Mike, we're getting some information now from Oklahoma City. If you take a look at Max 1, I want to show you how the extent of the severe weather in the Oklahoma City area, because a tornado has been moving through there.
So I don't see any clear-cut definition of that on the radar, but that's not necessarily out of the question. A little bit of shifting taking place down by the Bush Wildlife Preserve up to about Wentzville. So again, we've now got a report of a possible funnel cloud from reliable sources, from rescue teams, from the police department, fire department, out in St. Charles County, out in the western corner of St. Charles County, approaching the Wentzville area. You are not under a tornado warning at this point, but that, because the funnel cloud has been reported, I am anticipating, and that's probably the warning coming out right now for St. Charles County. Tornado warning. Let's see if that is going to verify. Numerous trees now down in portions of Warren County.
Sometimes when we see them, even before there's a tornado warning, we mention them. That's because these things can happen like that. The one on the hill that hit back in early April, that happened in about 20 to 30 seconds. The Hazelwood and Florissant tornado was a similar situation. That was on the ground only for about 7 minutes. And right now we have this line of storms that has hit Wentzville. We have a great picture from out there. It gives you an idea of what this storm is doing as it moves on in to, wow, there you go. That's a little lowering down to the ground. And that's coming from Facebook? Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's call it a public report. I don't know if that's a tornado. I can't see if that's all the way to the ground or not. All I know is that's a lowering. I don't know if it was rotating either. But that came into us from Facebook out in Wentzville. Am I correct, Shannon? Did that come in from Wentzville? Okay. So it came in out of right here. And the storm's hitting right now. So whoever sent that to us hopefully is inside and away from